This video is sponsored by Marketplace.tf. Made by the same people behind Scrap.tf and Backpack.tf, this is the safest, fastest, and to be completely honest, most popular way to be able to convert your Team Fortress 2 items into real PayPal cash. Selling items could not be simpler. It works just like the Steam Marketplace. Payouts are free, and until the 14th, there is a reduced commission, or the amount of money that the website takes out of every transaction for unusuals and Halloween items. Check out the link down in the description below if you want to be able to sell some of your Team Fortress 2 items for real money, and thank you very much Marketplace.tf for sponsoring this video. For Team Fortress 2, the month of October started out as a scary one. We waited almost a year for the last major Team Fortress 2 update, and if you consider Blue Moon, then it was a bit less. But to be completely honest, I've thought about it, and the majority of Blue Moon was really just content that was originally intended for Jungle Inferno that was later delayed. So, for all intents and purposes, we waited very close to a year for the last Team Fortress 2 update, and that kind of put a damper on the majority of the month. A lot of the time was just spent talking about how the TF team still does ban people that you report, and talking about how Jungle Inferno was now a year old and everything we liked about that. Keys hit 40 refined, and at the same time, Gary of Gary's Mod fame started discussing the idea of completely shutting down the face punch forums, so the Team Fortress 2 community seemed a little sad. And of course, that was until October 19th, 2018, when Scream Fortress X, or the 10th anniversary Scream Fortress update, finally hit. I've already made a video on all this, but to summarize, we got 5 community maps, all of which great, 2 cases, 1 for cosmetics, 1 for war paints, 2 officially made taunts, and a bunch of different things like unusual effects and the contracts resetting, and just a really great time. And this update was the incredible revitalization that the entire community needed for a few reasons. Some of them ended up not actually meaning anything, but we'll get to that. Number 1, we hit all-time highs. Team Fortress 2 hit almost 100,000 concurrent players following the release of Scream Fortress X, and this put it ahead of things like Jungle Inferno, and even all the way back to 2014 with Love and War. These were record highs, and even to this day, Team Fortress 2 now remains within the top 5 positions on all of Steam's games. Along with this, everyone was treated to brand new voice lines for the Soldier and the Scout. Now, at the time, everybody thought, well, if they have new voice lines, then they might as well have recorded a bunch of other stuff for another content update in the future, and they just kind of held some of it back for now. Well, Nathan Vitterline in a live stream talked about how he recorded moped-related lines before Jungle Inferno even released. Now, obviously, this doesn't necessarily mean we're not getting another major update with voice acting. However, it does mean that, as of right now, they didn't preemptively record a bunch of new stuff. It was just old stuff in the archives that they repurposed. Now, obviously, with any major Valve update, there are bugs. There are things that just break, and because of that, we need some bug fix updates to follow up. And since the release of Scream Fortress up until now of recording, we have received 3 other updates to Team Fortress 2, which is actually, unfortunately, some of the highest concentration of updates we've seen in quite a while. The first update on October 22nd is called the Insured Tank Update. Somebody, probably Jill, named this very small bug fix update like it was a major update, called the Insured Tank Update. Just 3 bug fixes. And then another one on October 25th with just more fixes and updates to all the new maps. And then once again on October 30th, once again, some bug fixes and updates to the new maps. So that kind of puts the Team Fortress 2 community in an awkward position. We got a major update for the first time in a year, and many of us are a little disappointed that this isn't an entire themed event. This is a very expected holiday event. Scream Fortress was something that we got on top of an update last year, and on top of many updates in years prior. However, we are now in a position where Scream Fortress is the update. So from this point forward, what do we have to expect? What do we know Valve is going to be doing in the future? Well, obviously, we have been promised heavy something, a new heavy weapon set at some point in the future. We voted for this back in summer of 2016, and as of now, there is absolutely no evidence of Valve currently developing a heavy weapon set. On top of that, with the release of Jungle Inferno, we were also promised the ability to keep party members on the same team when I'm queuing for casual. This is currently listed in the matchmaking settings of Team Fortress 2 as coming soon. This has been there since day one of Jungle Inferno, now over a year ago. So if another update hits, that can come along with it. And that's it. Up until now, we have not seen a single leak or rumor or interview or tease or anything pointing towards any other future content for Team Fortress 2. This isn't CSGO. This isn't Dota 2. Leaks aren't really something that have happened since pre-Love and War. And to be completely honest, the majority of the information we got for Jungle Inferno came out of interviews that I conducted with the team. So unless they want to try and reach out to me or answer one of my emails, we're probably not going to be told a single thing until, well, an update hits. Now, that isn't to say we don't have information on the Team Fortress team not existing. This was an idea I was pushing forward back in August because at that time, we hadn't received a single piece of information in close to 6 months. Now we have Scream Fortress and a really well-made video by McVicker, where through some of the people that were invited to Valve through the Saxy winners, McVicker was able to ask some questions and figure out that yes, there are still people working on Team Fortress 2 and the team size is dynamic. I'm going to quote the bit from the video. However, if you want more context, I recommend watching the video, link down below. Quote, "We asked that question to Eric himself, and at the time his response was basically the size of a TF team is constantly changing with what is needed to get done. I spoke to at least 5 people who said they regularly work on Team Fortress, though I wouldn't consider that an exact answer for the size of the team. Valve has a complicated work environment." The Eric discussed in that quote is of course Eric Smith, and the fact that there are 5 people that regularly work on the game adds to the 3 that we can currently name, being Dave Riller, Eric Smith, and Jill. So that's interesting. At that time, during the Saxy trip, there were 5 people that could say, yeah, I regularly work on that game. But there are probably far, far more that are currently working on the game. So that probably means that we are going to be getting another major update. And to be completely honest, I have been talking to a lot of people in the community. I've been researching a lot of the history of the people that currently reside on the Team Fortress team. And I can say this. Somebody like Dave Riller has worked on a Team Fortress related game for close to 20 years. Dave Riller, of course, made Honor Rail, the Half-Life chapter, and then immediately following began work with Robin Walker on Team Fortress Whatever. This led to Valve's Team Fortress 2 Brotherhood of Arms, Team Fortress 2 Invasion, Team Fortress Classic, and eventually leading up to 2007 Retail Team Fortress 2, and Dave Riller has been on 2007 Team Fortress 2 since 2007, actually since before that. And he's still there. I don't think Dave Riller is going anywhere, and I could probably say the same about Eric Smith. So even if the team size even drops down to 2, we're always going to have somebody working on the game. That is a given. Dave Riller is probably very content on working on this game until he retires. And I've met him, and he seems to be in his 40s, so we've got a while to go. That's great, and the community can rest easy. We're probably just going to see a longer and longer gap between those really big events. It's great to see that the player numbers are still there, and to be completely honest, if Valve didn't have CSGO and Dota 2, Team Fortress 2 would be one of the biggest things on Steam, because it already is. It's just being beaten out by 2 of Valve's other properties. That's great for the community, and as for the community, there are events and items and maps being discussed, including the Marketplace.tf Scream Fortress event, which is taking place from now until the 14th of November. Usually, Marketplace.tf has to take a commission or a fee for any item that you sell on the website, and through this event, any Scream Fortress or Halloween-related items and unusuals will have their commissions lowered. Scream Fortress and Halloween-related items will have a 3% commission, with unusuals taking only 5%. The rest of the items still at the normal 10%. NECA, which is a company that makes official Valve products and toys and stuff like that, a relationship I have been discussing since the very first Valve News Network video back in July of 2011, finally announced that they are going to be shipping out Series 4 Team Red Team Fortress 2 action figures. Red Medic, Sniper, and Scout are finally going to be released. What's awkward to me, though, is how the Scout doesn't have a microphone and the Soldier doesn't have glasses. Canteen Crasher, something we've discussed many times on the channel, recently had an update that added new missions and a few new maps specifically for those missions. Canteen Crasher, of course, is all about the waves. The maps aren't specifically made for the events. It takes custom maps, though, so you've likely never played these maps either way. If you've already completed the previous Canteen Crasher events, please feel free to check out some new stuff, all for free on the website linked down in the description below. And of course, we have some new maps to discuss. CTF Synthetic, created by Mega Pieman PhD and Gadget on Steam Workshop. This is a new King of the Hill map that was posted on October 27th. I really like the feel of this map, however, the look, of course, like many things that you find find are very vanilla. Nothing new about them, but to be completely honest, that's what I want to see. King's Row. This is a in-development remake of the Overwatch map King's Row. The geometry is very close to the original, however, it being Team Fortress 2, a lot of the effects, the texture work, the general quality of the map itself is going to be far, far lower. This, of course, is Payload, and if you're at all a fan of Overwatch, which, you know, it's okay to admit that you are, and you want to try and play another one of the Overwatch maps in Team Fortress 2, King's Row exists. Cathedral Beta 1A. This map was created by Spudlord and is currently a mostly interior-based map that takes place in a secret base hidden underneath what appears to be a cathedral. This is a standard attack defend map, and to be completely honest, reminds me of Mountain Lab, but that's a good thing. This map's pretty great. And lastly, my favorite of the month, Frost Moon. This is a map that appears to pull double duty, as not only does it appear to work great for the holiday season, but also works great for the Scream Fortress season. It didn't get picked for Scream Fortress, but it was uploaded on October 4th of this year and created by Midlu. It is a King of the Hill map that is very much based on Ice Tower, a map that I have included on my servers for a while. However, it's nighttime, it's spooky, it's still snowing, and it's my favorite map of the month. I loved Ice Tower before, and this theming is just a better theming overall. So if you like Ice Tower, you'll like this one quite a bit. And of course, I have some Team Fortress 2 servers that are running custom community maps 24/7, and nobody ever seems to play on them. They're open right now. The maps we've just discussed are on the VNN TF2 CCU or Community Catch-Up server, and all previous maps ever discussed on any of the Team Fortress News Network videos are on the Community Catch-Up Archive server. On top of that, any questions you want me to send over to the Team Fortress team for them to be ignored, feel free to comment down in the description below, and thank you very much for watching. I'm Tyler McVicker, this is Valve News Network. Let's hope for a major update soon. You know, Jungle Inferno was great. I felt so great to be a part of that community when that happened, and well, I hope that wasn't the last for Team Fortress 2's community. I'm sure it's not. I don't think Dave Riller's going anywhere.